Today's video, Clarkson, Markle, racist. Let's have a look. Hi, welcome back. Check out all the content on Dad's channel. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Today we're going to look at the Jeremy Clarkson column that came out just the other day about Meghan Markle. So I'm going to say it, the Jeremy Clarkson thing, what a load of crap really. It is, honestly. Now Clarkson is one of those people who is a Marmite type figure. You either like Marmite or you don't. There's nothing in between. You don't kind of like it, you don't kind of not like it. And it's the same with people like Clarkson. Personally, I can take him or leave him. He's not one of my favourite figures at all. He knows a lot about cars, I guess, as that's been his main subject over the years. But other stuff, well, as I said, just a Marmite character. But to be called racist and misogynist, well, I don't think so. And it's just, we really need to actually look into this a little bit more. What's wrong with saying that you don't like somebody? I don't see anything wrong with it. There's plenty of people I don't like. This kind of thing starts as kind of a namby-pamby thing at school. Everybody's got to like everybody in their class or in their year or in their school, and it's just not possible. It's not real. We're humans. We're animals, and animals don't really get along with every other animal that's around, of their own ilk, of their own species. It's just the way it is. Yes, it's all very well if we're nice to everybody and everybody's nice to us, but it's not reality. There are many people that we would all like to see paraded through the streets for ridicule, for whatever reason. We just don't like them. We have some non-fancy to them. They've done something in particular that we don't agree with, and we would love them paraded down the street, throw a few tomatoes at them, and have a laugh. It's just true. It's just people. Clarkson is a divisive figure. It's true. He wouldn't be writing a column if he wasn't. They wouldn't give him a column for, oh yes, let's all get on with each other. He has a group of people that everybody knows don't particularly like him or don't particularly agree with him. And there's a group of people that do like him and do agree with him. And that's why he's got the column, because he can divide the two. For those that don't like him, or even those that do like him, he can really get at them for one reason or another. His column will be read by many people and no doubt ignored by many. And I'm pretty sure on this occasion it's been read by, well, probably thousands more that would normally even consider reading what he has to say. He's not my idea of a role model. I'm sure he's not many people's idea of a role model. Some people will love him though. In the media, you have to develop a thick skin, and that's what he's done over the years. It's provocation that has built his audiences over the years. Whether you agree with it or not doesn't really matter to him. I'm sure he doesn't particularly care. So what Clarkson does is called free speech, and we've all got it. It's always available to all of us. We're pretty provocative, all of us, just about all the time, or a lot of the time. There's people we just don't get on with, whether we know them or not. Famous people on television, for example, or internet stars. We may not agree with them, we may never have seen them or actually heard them, but we have a point of view about them. It's called free speech, and that's all that Clarkson's doing. So whether we like it or not, we're just tagging along with the free speech thing. If you start to take away free speech, you're heading down the fascist road. If you believe there's only certain types of speech that should be allowed in the public, you're heading down the fascist road. Banning people from speaking isn't the way forwards. It never has been and never will be. If you don't agree with them, what you need to do is challenge them, but challenge them realistically, not just start name calling because you believe that's the way to do it. That just means that you're being provocative. What you need to do is to ask them to explain their point of view, and then you can actually discuss it and come to some kind of conclusion, whether it's an agreement or disagreement, but at least you'll know where both parties stand. The problem I see these days is that when people start challenging, what they understand by challenging is they use the R word. They start with, you're a racist. And one of the latest ones over the past, or the very recent past, is the M word, you're a misogynist. Now, some people probably don't even know what it means to be a misogynist or a racist, to be honest. I don't think there many people really know what they're challenging. Have you actually read the column? Did you read it? Did you just hear about it? Are you just joining in? Let's quickly shout the R or the M word, because that's apparently is all you need. Who's going to disagree with you when you say that person's a racist? Someone's hardly likely to stand there in a big crowd and say, hang on a minute, you're wrong. So just simply shouting you're a racist and a misogynist isn't really actually arguing any realistic point, is it? Now, I can sit here and quite happily say I'm not a fan of Markle's, I'm not a fan of her husband's. If they never darken these shores again, I'd be quite happy. I think they're very contradictory in what they've said. And if Jeremy Clarkson doesn't like her, so what? I don't particularly care if he does or doesn't. I find it humorous that he may want her paraded down every town street. I just find it funny, really, because it's not going to happen. It's not real life. It's just his opinion, so what? I don't care if he wants her paraded down a street for humiliation or not. I don't care. I just found it slightly humorous, but I've moved on, and so should you. As for all these martyrs who are standing up to be counted against him, the MPs who have signed letters, and all the various people who, well, basically allowed themselves to be annoyed by this man. And that's it. He's just a guy who writes a column. He's a provocative guy. It's what he does, and he's managed to do exactly what he needs to do to sell, the column to people, to get that bit of money in, and that's what he's doing. It's very successful. He's just needling you, and he's succeeded. But I can't agree with this ridiculous outcry, it's outpouring by these martyrs. I don't see it as racist. He's not inciting anything. It's not a misogynistic approach. He just doesn't like her, and that's fair enough. I don't like lots of people, and neither do you. And you would love to see certain MPs, or maybe some prime ministers of late. Boris Johnson, perhaps. He's not exactly loved, is he? Liz wasn't exactly loved when she made those gross mistakes to take us into financial meltdown. There are plenty of people out there, famous, infamous, who we would love paraded down the street for a bit of humiliation. It's just the way it is. If you don't like Clarkson, then just ignore him, because that's what a lot of people do. They don't bother to read his column. And if you don't like him or don't think he's got any valid opinion, why were you reading his column in the first place? One of the scourges of modern society is people seem to want to be offended. It's as if it's their right to be offended. I must be offended about something, and the first thing I'm going to do is call you a racist or a misogynist. Why do people want to be offended? It's a modern scourge on people, and it's just something that people seem to need. I must be offended by something. Just stop it, for goodness sake. The trouble is, it's these people, the must be offended types, that just come up with those two simple arguments. You're a racist, you're a misogynist, because they can't think intelligently, and they can't come up with an argument against the person that they're trying to, well, persecute. Is that too strong a word then? That they're wanting to persecute back. I feel persecuted, I feel offended, me. Well, really, come on. As for Clarkson, just ignore him. Most of his stuff, all of his stuff, are just throwaway lines and tomorrow's chip paper. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. Hope you found that provocative, thought-provoking, whatever you did find, like and do comment. And remember, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. In the meantime, so I will see you on the next video.